Hey, this is Sasha. Welcome to another episode here on Backstage Income, where I share with you how to build and grow a profitable business. Now, in today's episode, I want to share with you how to smartly, or in a smart way, go ahead and create your YouTube thumbnail. So if you're doing it kind of the regular normal way, maybe you're using like a tool like Canva. If you have a little more power to something like Photoshop, I'm going to show you how to best approach it. So let's go to the screen. I'll show you some insight. Okay, so here is the way that we go about creating our thumbnails, and we basically use Artboards. That's the smarter approach from what I've discovered, is that, you know, we go ahead and set up some different thumbnails and different design variations, and these kind of adjust and grow with time. So you go ahead and kind of, each one is its own kind of file, but you go ahead and put all these artboards into a single main file. So then you have these canvases that are, hey, this is one board, this is another one, this is another one. So all I need to do is to be able to change this thumbnail. Let's say I want to, you know, I got an idea and something catches my eye. Well, you kind of get an idea of where do I want to start with, or what type of thumbnail do I kind of want. And let's say I'm going to work with kind of this one. So you can see some are catered towards white text, others are for darker text. So I'll show you in this example with the darker text, because I have to manipulate the text anyway. So I'll go ahead and tweak this right here. So I have different layers in here. So you're basically thinking you're working with smart objects. So what I do now is I tweak my title. So let's say in this title, I want to talk about creating awesome thumbnails, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and write creating YouTube thumbnails. And again, I'm not doing everything I need to do right this second, because you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll go ahead and hit Control S to save it, and you'll see this gets kind of moved right there into my area. Now you can see I can go ahead and now tweak it based on my needs. So if I go ahead now and say change this around, so you can see where I'm going with this thumbnail, I could also go ahead and change the face here. Say, hey, that one kind of doesn't work, so I'll click that. And we've already embedded and included a lot of the faces, the poses in there. So if I don't like that one, I could go this one, I can go to that one. All the photos have been already pre-taken, so I don't have to do a single shot. I'll go ahead and hit save it. Let's say that one is good. So now I can go ahead and just kind of wait for it to finish rendering, because they do take a lot of computer power when you got a lot of this stuff updating in all these different files. So my next point would be right here. So I can go ahead and tweak this, like the help me or the 20%. So here I'll tweak this, my top badge, and we're going to change it to how to create. We're going to go this way with it, reduce it a little bit. And I've already pre-created some of these shapes. So if I want like a pill button, I could go ahead and do that. If I want something else like a trapezoid, you know, I can tweak those. So I could go ahead and kind of adjust them and stretch them a little bit here. And of course you could skew them and tweak them in all sorts of ways. So how to create, and then I'll go ahead, change that around right there, hit save. So now how to create, and I'm going to change this back. Instead of creating, how to create YouTube thumbnails. And now I might reduce one of these or both of these right there to make it fit. How to create YouTube thumbnails. And then here I might change this around the bottom area and say the awesome way. And again, I might just change that to a lot smaller of a font and reduce that as well. And now I can stretch this if I need to. Or again, I could go ahead and change it to another shape in the background. So if I have a different shape, I could go ahead and kind of stretch that out the way that I want. And what you can do here as well is I can kind of tweak any drop shadows. I can tweak kind of the gradient overlays. So if I need to do that, I can also do it in that way. So let's say I want to change kind of the gradient. I can do that as well. So, you know, there's a lot of flexibility here when it comes to really just tweaking what you're doing. Once you have a base thumbnail and some thumbnails that you already kind of say, hey, I got these thumbnails, I got these templates, I'm ready to go. So now I just tweak it for my needs, and all I got to do is, let's just say right here, I go to the top on this artboard, I right click and I say quick export as PNG or export as a JPEG. So that's the way we make thumbnails. I'm going to tweak this one a little bit more before I put it on YouTube. But really, you can see the process, and you can do it for any kind of artboard or item that you're working on. We also have these other layers that we can kind of hide and reveal. So let's say I go ahead and create a thumbnail here. There's also this, let's say sale, sale, sale if we want, or just put something up there like Photoshop tutorial or just a red banner. I can move these arrows around. So there's other things like arrows and screenshots in there. If I want to pop in a screenshot, there's also background pictures so that we can tweak, but that's the smarter approach to, you know, working with your thumbnails. Now we also have things right here where we can generate Pinterest pins from it as well for that exact episode. But that's how we go ahead and in our team create thumbnails, and some of the more recent ones that you're probably seeing, and the one that you'll see on this episode will be something similar to this, maybe a little change of colors, maybe a little change in facial style or a pose, and that's all there really is to it. And that way you can just say, hey, okay, I want something like this, pop in some elements because you already have all the assets, and then you're good to go. So anyways, I hope this makes sense, gives you some insight to how we go about creating some thumbnails on YouTube the smart way, and the smarter approach than the way most people do it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe here on YouTube or join our newsletter list where we release other great tips about YouTube, building an online business, and making more money online. Thanks for joining me. And in the end, remember, do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.